Fucking awesome! Everybody, Toybox here, and we watch a live preview event of Titanfall Expedition. That's the name of their new DLC, so let's watch.
Hey, I'm Abby Heppy from Respawn Entertainment. I'm the community manager here. Thank you for bearing with us. I know we got off to a slightly late start, but it gave Drew McCoy some chance to figure out what he was going to do with his hands on the stream. And I'd like you want the little clasp and folded in front of you. But yes, this is Drew McCoy. He's a producer on Titanfall. What we're going to talk to you about first is some of the cool updates that we have coming for the game that are going to come out alongside the DLC. So maybe, Drew, you can go into some of the details, stuff that's cool updates.
Yeah, so as we mentioned in our PAX panel that we did a
New volume.
ago, we're going to continue with updates to the game that are not like paid DLC. So that includes all sorts of things from nicety enhancements to the UI, to feature requests from the community, to the private match stuff, and eventually we'll get to game modes and things. So some of the stuff that's going to be coming with the patch later this month will be being able to name your custom loadouts. That's been a very popular request. And above and beyond that, we're adding what we call custom loadouts per game type. So after you've played 5 or 10 rounds of each game type, you'll be able to make loadouts for just that game type. So if you want to make an Atlas for hardpoint and hardpoint only, you can do that. Or you want to have your pilot with sniper for CTF, for whatever reason, you can do that.
And you'll see people playing with them today.
Yeah, so we're going to be showing that off. As well as last game summary improvements. So you can see the scoreboard when you're in the lobby. If you had to quit for the night and come back in the morning, and you're like, oh, how did I do the last round? You can go back and see the scoreboard from the previous game. We have things like easier ability to tell what challenges you've been working on, what challenges are required to regen, stuff like that, just to make it a little bit easier. And then private match is getting some improvements. Abby, if you want to go through those.
Yeah, I'm going to steal your cheat sheet. Mine is just pictures of cats. So there's been some, you'll be able to fix the score. No, it's not actually. You'll be able to set the score limit, the time limit. You'll be able to set the lethality of the AI. So if you want them to be super tough, if you want them to be super easy, you'll be able to customize that.
That's really cool.
Pilot health, you have half health, normal health, and I think double.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll be able to set the Titan rebuild time. And if you're looking, if I'm going over these way too fast, you will also be able to find all of these on titanfall.com/game updates. We've been posting a lot of cool stuff to news, a lot of the things that are coming out for the game. Our game director, Steve Fukuda, has also given an update about what's going to be coming to Titanfall, even past the changes that we're talking about today. So lots of good information there. And not only will it be everything that Drew and I are talking about right now, but it'll be all of the bug fixes, and as well as a bunch of other changes that are going in, some game balance stuff. It's a lot, and we don't have time to go over it all today. So you can go look at it right now, actually. It's up on the site as we speak. Well, also, now back into the middle of private batch stuff. But Titan rebuild time, you'll be able to set how long it is till the Titans, your Titan's available. Titan shield capacity, normal, half, double, disabled. You'll be able to turn the mini-map on or off.
Oh, that's cool.
And you'll be able to fix the respawn delay, how long it takes you to respawn in the game.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, what else we got?
Eat that Battlefield.
We've got level stat menu, so you can see how long you've played on each level. What your win completion rate is for campaign levels, for those of you who are hunting those achievements, just to give you more stats to see how you're doing in the game. The ability to tell an amped weapon on the ground from a non-amped weapon, if you've killed someone who had a burn card, easier to tell. And then one of the things I was really looking forward to is the increasing of the FPS cap on the PC game. Before it was kind of limited to 60, and it's not as easy as just switching a number in a config file. It really is a lot of work. So we've now upped that to 144. So if you have a 144 hertz or 120 hertz monitor, you can now play at 144 or 120 FPS.
Yeah. So those are a lot of the big features that we're showing. Some of the smaller stuff is you can't, if you leave a match now, you're going to get a loss if you leave early. I know, right? It'll keep people from quitting out early.
Nice.
There's also, you can't drop a Titan on a dropship anymore. Sorry, that's gone. And then there's a list of bug fixes and everything else. So I do encourage you to go online, look at all of those. It's pretty detailed out. And we'll be continuing to do these every time we have updates coming. And we'll give you some insight into what our process is as well. All right, so what we're actually here today to do is to show off the new DLC, Titanfall Expedition. So we have 3 of the designers who worked on these maps here to talk about them, and we've got a bunch of people in the back playing to show you what they look like. So we're going to roll the trailer first, give you an overview of what the maps look like, and then we're going to get into gameplay. Roll the trailer.
I wonder if you could actually rent servers like you do on Battlefield. I doubt it. It sounds like everything's free. That's pretty cool. Titanfall Expedition.
And we're back. And I'm here with Chris Dione, which is weird to hear your name.
Yeah,
it's not
nobody
Chris
calls
to
me Chris.
Soupy. He's the designer on Swampland, which we're going to be hopping into in just a second here. And I think we're showing Capture the Flag. So maybe you can give us a little bit of an overview about the map, how it came about, and what's cool about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Swampland is a map that actually was started very early in Titanfall development back in 2011. And at that point, another designer had put it together. About a year later, I took over and started playing around with the idea, and then we kind of put it on the back burner for a couple of years. And when we got to the point of doing DLC, we finally said, hey, let's bring back Swampland, because there were some really interesting ideas there. And going back to those ideas of towering trees and a big, vast swamp and fighting in there seemed really, really exciting, and that's what...
Nice. Well, let's show it. We've got a game going on live
Yeah,
right
shut
now.
up.
I know.
Stop talking and show it.
Yeah, see people using the trees to get around the level. It's such a cool feature. In fact, can you give us some of your best tips for the level?
Well, I think the trees really are, as we were playtesting it, kind of became the focal point of some of the most fun, but also the best techniques that you can use, which we're seeing right now. The jumping on the trees and then using your pilot mobility to jump like a ninja between one tree and the other is, aside from being really, really fun to do, also kind of gets you out of the line of sight of most of the people who are fighting and gives you a really quick way of, getting around the level and getting across the level. And
So instead of buildings, they're trees.
Because
cool.
because you can run around the trees when you're up there, you have this ability to jump on a tree and then either go straight or just continue running around the tree and choose a different path and go in a completely different direction if that's where you'd rather go.
Oh, he's gonna die.
Using that in, because we play a bunch of the at work. Have you seen people using that to their advantage?
Yeah, yeah. We have one designer who likes to kind of get up on the tree highway and do circles and drop satchels down on people who are trying to cross below on the ground. And so he'll give himself the unlimited satchel burn card and just do NASCAR loops in the trees.
I feel like I probably should have just told everybody that. I'm good rage when somebody does that to me in game.
But the beautiful thing is, you just step back a little bit, and if you're a Titan, especially,
this stream is extreme to chop.
Outskirts, the pilots, they can't get above you. And you can just kind of back up and you see this little guy floating from tree to tree, and you aim and you shoot him out of the sky, and then he dies. And you have a great time.
So what's your favorite mode for this level?
I personally like CTF a lot. Coincidentally, we're showing it right now. Yeah. But I really enjoy CTF, and I think part of it is because the flags are actually pretty close together, but the trees make it so that you can have this really frantic dash right across the map.
Shit.
And the whole maybe if I can just hit the next tree, I can jump off and get to the next one, ends up being really fun.
Yeah, look at that screen
flag
time.
running, which
Shit.
is kind of one of my favorites.
Yeah, I've got like 2 frames a second on this.
Path options.
And then we also, I also found that I've enjoyed Last Titan Standing a lot, playing on this, because it's a different sort of experience. It turned out earlier on in development that it was
Shooting a Titan. Okay.
really hard to figure out how we
You're
were
dead.
going to define what the paths were for the Titans, and and initially that kind of turned into a lot more structure and, trying to make it almost feel more like a city, which didn't work in a swamp. It's a swamp. It should feel like a swamp. And the trees, were a really cool part of it. So we ended up finding a way, with the rocks and the high walls to give the Titans a place to congregate. Well, that's not what you're supposed to do. I mean, for what it's worth. Is a pro tip from a designer: don't walk under a Titan if he's on the other team.
Terrible idea.
That is my suggestion. But anyway, like bringing the Titans together in these areas where you have these tall trees that are kind of interesting, and because it's a unique way to fight.
Yeah, I remember in the early versions of this level, there were nothing on the same scale. It was still sort of foggy and murky, but the trees got a lot bigger between now and then.
Yeah, it turns out, well, as we were designing and working on it, this level was sort of a evolution of find what is the most fun to do, and then really kind of double down on that. And as we were playing it and going through different iterations, it turned out that fighting around the trees and playing on the trees and all that was just one of the most exciting things.
Oh man!
So
Okay, we got it. Development was pretty awesome. But what else could you do on the map?
And, we made more of the trees, and then we added some trees.
I'm more interested in the changes than the DLC.
Remember that time we went on a live stream?
Be honest.
Trees for like 5 minutes. That was a good time. I like that. That was a great day. I just keep getting
What did they
distracted
fix?
by-
What did they
by watching
change?
people and then wanting to
Expedition's
go
cool,
over
but is this it? Just one map?
Yeah, exactly. It's really tough to watch people play.
So the level basically has 3 sort of main structure points. 2 of them are the ones that people are fighting over for the flags right now. And the idea behind those was that because so much of it is open and there's so much lethality when you're out in the world, we wanted the pilots to have a place that they could go to. Oh, and you're dead.
Yeah, talk about the map.
We wanted a
Gives a
place
shit
where
what
the
they're
pilots
playing.
could go and they could actually feel a little bit safe. And so all of the
There's a lot of good
structures.
places to hide and sort of sneak around.
Tune in to hear you ramble.
Not doing that at all.
I'm just gonna run
It's
out.
okay. I think we were
open.
showing the Titan one on the other side. The pilot's not hiding.
No, but I mean that's part of the way that I found that I play Titanfall is I don't stop. I just kind of keep running.
Yeah, I'm almost never, not moving. And that's what I like so much about this level, is especially going through the trees and everything. It's so fast, it's so quick. You're not sort of in corridors. You're not really constrained. You can kind of go anywhere in the map and create your own paths, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the things that, like I said, once we, really started doubling down on that I wanted to try to do, because it's such a different experience from a lot of what we have elsewhere. And is elsewhere a word?
Sure.
Okay, well go with elsewhere.
Oh my god.
And I think.
It was a show. Saying elsewhere? I think it was a show. I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
Just going back to that. But it's one of those where when the game is finally done, and you already know what all of the levels that people are playing are, everything that's out there, it's a chance to actually start.
Makes me wonder how long is the stream. I hope the stream isn't like 4 hours.
Exciting, and that maybe
Long.
we haven't tried
Seriously.
before, and, things along those lines.
Very cool.
That's what I want to do.
Awesome. We're gonna watch this team get stopped.
Okay, we're gonna watch more of this.
Militia's up a little bit on this one.
Militia's up a little bit.
Paths for Titans to get around. So
What do you do to create those paths for the Titans when you're trying to create a more condensed space?
well, it has pretty small square footage, but it has several paths kind of that overlap each other. So
We can actually show
see
this
this
right now. If
Yeah,
staring at
let's
it, and we can just
let's
show you
watch
all.
it.
It's probably
God
easier.
damn, fucking respawn, man.
Titans, and you can see it a lot.
Oh,
It's kind of.
I don't want to watch them watch
choke points as they.
the gameplay of this map.
Through this.
Are they fucking
long
retarded?
warehouse that
Seriously?
they're doing now. And
It's like watching someone else watch paint dry. Really?
Running through the level, and
Oh, loading. Oh, God. This sucks so bad. Livestream is the most boring livestream I've ever seen. The Arma 3's livestream was bad. This is worse. This takes the fucking cake, man.
as a Titan, you can kind
Oh,
of
fuck
get
me.
to the lower canals.
Oh,
It gives you a lot
God.
of cover and
still doing this.
kind of cuts down a lot of the angles that you could get hit from. With pilots, there's a lot of catwalks and wall running all around the buildings above, so you can see a lot of the Titans below and drop explosives on them.
Yeah, see, this guy is just running around.
It's sad that Abby, fuck her name, Happy, whatever fucking name she is.
Yeah, the canal.
She is the PR person for Titanfall, and she sucks at it.
The outside of the map.
Sucks.
So if you were in the center, as they are here, you either have to go.
At least for live streaming, she just sucks so bad.
Back out to get up. So,
they're trying to sell the DLC right now, Expedition. They haven't sold me yet. It's $10 for the DLC, which is cool, but they're really not talking.
What's kind of your process for making a map like this work for all of the different kind of games?
Talking about the DLC pack and all. At least not with the last map. They're just rambling about bullshit.
Not even the game types. It's the different motion models we have of the pilot and the Titan.
At least this douchebag's talking about the map.
Paths for Titans, just so they can have enough room to get around and they're not too cramped. And then you just start building on top of that. You kind of pick key buildings that you want pilots to interact with, and then you just start, kind of building those connections, and then later you kind of get into the wall running. As long as everything's kind of a good distance from each other, wall running can connect a lot of them pretty fast.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, this one has a lot of options for pilots to get above and then jump down on Titans from the top, which I think is really cool. I like Rise for the same reason.
Yeah.
And actually, Swampland, you can do a lot of it in as well. So for other modes, are there some good advice or good places to go on the map?
In Hardpoint,
maybe some loadouts you prefer?
Yeah, well, in Hardpoint, there's the 3 flags. One is in the main warehouse they just went through. The other 2 are in kind of basements opposite this building. So, but they have windows that open out into these bays. So you can actually drop your Auto Titan and plant him pretty far out and have him snipe into the hard point, and just kind of be a nuisance out there.
Nice. Yeah, I've definitely been taken out by that tactic before. And of course, I think it looks like all of the Titans are off in that area right now fighting each other.
Yeah, I wanted to have kind of a big open area for them to have a little arena to fight with.
Yeah, of course, if you're a pilot there, I don't know what your plan is. This guy's basically just trying not to get stomped on. Oh, yeah. That never works. People try. So yeah, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about specifically for the map?
No, there's in CTF there's actually the center canal connects the 2 flag bases, so you can grab the flag and use the canals to just have a little highway back and forth between the 2 flags. So CTF plays pretty fast in this.
Yeah, like that, like. Team Fortress, like 2 Fort, like go right over.
Yeah, you're talking about Titanfall, not Team Fortress, bitch. Shut up.
Cool. Yeah, Last Titan Standing is a mode that I didn't used to play as much, and I find myself playing all the time now. There's something
more interesting in this game than
also, if you use the
Counter-Strike or whatever game you're talking about.
Level up quickly. Not that I'm being cheap, but it's pretty effective.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I got nothing to talk about. So,
me is kind of similar to old
move on to the next map then. If you have nothing to talk about, move on to the next map.
Has because the
talk about something
so big
different.
For Titans, we have to have these kind of limited.
Oh my god!
Kind of choke points.
It's their time to sell the DLC to the people, and they're not selling it at all.
Counter-Strike with the padding options.
Rambling about nothing. Talk about other games.
Like
this person just got 2 executions in a row. Which
she is the PR for Respawn Entertainment. I don't think she's gonna last that long.
Poor Soupy.
There's actually a little secret in this map. There's an out-of-bounds area that I opened up so that in Last Titan Standing, if you're brave enough, you can duck out into the out-of-bounds and dash a little bit, and then cut back into the center of the map.
I saw someone doing that in a playtest the other day.
But you can get stuck out there. I've been Titan punched and denied access back in. So
that's actually pretty clever.
Kind of came back on me.
Oh.
I'm watching the losing screen, the winning screen.
Yeah.
They're getting kind of stomped.
Yeah, come on, step it up. Don't make this look bad. No worse than we're already. Yeah, I really like this map a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. I like having all the different pathing options.
Awesome.
As I said earlier, I think it's just really hard to rodeo people now because they sort of know all of the tactics.
Yeah,
and so I love having the option to do that, but it's like between smoke and everything, it's like when the beta came out, like the first day, it was all just like rodeo, and by the end, like everybody just had it down.
Yeah, everybody's up to that now.
Now I just do the fake taking one knee and like
Even
let them
that,
jump off
even
and then
that,
run.
they
Even people
caught
have
on.
gotten hip to that. Every time I have a new tactic, somebody else figures out a new one to stop me from doing it. It's actually kind of a smart bailout there. He just jumped off into the canals.
Yeah, anytime I get into problems, I just back off, get right into one of the tunnels. And you're kind of away from the fight really fast.
Yeah, the other guy didn't even notice that he had someone sneaking up behind him.
It's a sneaky Titan map, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, you're right. I guess it's kind of hard to sneak around and be stealthy when you're a Titan. You're kind of big. It doesn't work as well. Oh, man. These guys are getting crushed.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's like, we're also not letting them communicate, and one of the biggest things for Last Titan Standing is to talk to your teammates and figure out what their tactics are and what paths they're taking around the map. Otherwise, it's just like, as soon as you see that one lone Titan and you just start wailing on them and pick them off one by one. There's people. Come on, get him. No, oh. That was too bad. I thought he had him.
Yeah, a team with mics, you can't rodeo any of them. They'll just take a knee and have their buddy shoot off the rodeo.
I just punched them off. It's just way quicker and easier. But unfortunately for these guys, it's not their game. Oh well, best potato, that's a really good one. I love that everybody has started using the custom ones. When we go through the menu again, it's worth pointing out that you can see the renamed custom loadouts.
Yeah, that's great to keep track of what it's actually go for.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that it's tied to the match modes too, because I have different loadouts depending on what mode I'm playing in the game for sure.
Yep.
All right, round win.
Yay!
That crushed the other team mercilessly. One more. Wow, this is just like, I feel bad for them now.
Yeah.
You should go in and hop in and help them.
I don't know. I'm not super good at those things.
Don't need to be. It's okay. You are pretty awesome at attrition, and I hate when you pick me off from halfway across the map. So I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's Runoff, and next we're going to be showing War Games, which is super cool. We've got designer Jason McCord here to do that. So thanks, Jeff. Really
Someone
appreciate
else needs to be
you
host.
talking about the map and showing us cool stuff.
Ah, no worries. Thanks.
Awesome. Roll another trailer. Stand by for Titanfall.
Rated M for mature.
Yeah.
Buy Xbox One. Get Titanfall.
Hey everyone, we're back, and this is Jason McCord. He's a designer on War Games, which is the next level from the Expedition DLC that we're going to be showing you today. While these guys hop into a match right here, maybe you can give us a little bit of an overview of the map.
Yeah, War Games is based in the training simulator that you played in the original game.
Yep.
So
Original
it's a
game.
virtual world in the story. So
And the tutorial
we can do
levels
a lot
of the game.
cool things.
Tutorial
You'll
maps.
definitely see things in there that you wouldn't see in other maps.
It's a holodeck.
Yeah, basically. So we have these like Tron sort of looking walls and kind of glitching areas where you'll see like there's a tank in there. You can see here in the beginning we actually show you going into the training simulators to reinforce what's happening. And on the militia you get a cool intro, and if you're on the IMC you get a totally different intro that you see the heroes in there, and kind of helps build the world a little bit.
Nice. And then it also takes pieces from other areas that gamers should be familiar with if they've played Titanfall, right?
Yeah, because we were in a training simulator, we could do all these different things that we could try all these different environments from the game. So the story is sort of, you know, like Soupy said, this is after the events of the game. So the IMC and the militia know sort of the battles that they had and the environments that they might need to train in. So this map would be has 3 separate themed areas.
This map looks pretty cool.
There's an airbase area, there's a Rise area, and there's a Angel City area. And it's just so they can kind of, because
To be honest, this is the best map
Yeah,
I've
so many
seen
different maps.
of
So it's fun
this
to,
feature so far.
It's fun to have the 3 separate areas in the map that are linked by these like really cool grid walls that you can see people through, but you can't shoot through.
Oh, you can't shoot through them.
You
Okay.
cannot shoot through them, but it plays to some interesting things where you can see the pilot wall running on him. So you know where he's going to end up, and you can work your way a different way and meet him up there.
Yeah, were the color choices in these very purposeful to get people sort of guided onto the paths for the level?
Well, they're color coded, so it's subtle, but I think that after a while you start to kind of remember that, you know, the orange side, the panels are on one side of the map, the blue panels are on the other side. It helps you differentiate yourself quickly while you're playing. And then you can see.
By the way, with all the screen tearing, even chat rooms are experiencing that as well. So it's the stream, not my recording.
To kind
Thank
of
God.
guide players that maybe don't wall run too much, as sort of a like, hey, if you launch yourself off here, you might end up in a cool spot. But then, for the more advanced wall runners, you can definitely just take to the skies and get really high above all these buildings and still get around really easily.
Yeah. So what are some other good like sort of tips and ways to get around and cool stuff about this?
Well, you can see there's these exterior areas that are off to the side, and they're kind of made for over there. Yeah. They're kind of made for last Titan standing, so that Titans can go off into a big open field where there's not a lot of clutter in the way. It's really easy to find other Titans and to know where you're supposed to go and where they can be.
Oh, Titanfall. Did he get him? Oh,
I don't think so. But so you don't see a lot of pilots out there. So if you do try and use, like in the CTF match, try and use those real clean surfaces to get across the map, you might not get seen by the pilots that are in the more dense areas of the map.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and they also have good Titan-sized cover.
Yep.
To hide behind.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah. Is there? What about maybe some good tips for hard points?
Well, the hard points are linked together they're pretty close together. I would say probably for B, which is in the center of maybe you've seen, I don't know if they've been in there recently, but there's a really tight alley, and one Titan can fit in there at a time. And it kind of gets into this funny dueling of Titans in a tight hallway, and there's not really too many places to go. But pilots can get up high and jump down on them. So I would say for hardpoint B, get in there as a Titan, electric smoke, start triple threading, and then nuke, and then everyone's dead.
Oh yeah, good point.
You'll
But
lose your
also
Titan.
potentially including yourself if you
Yeah.
eject it out of there.
Yeah,
And
if you nuke in there, you'll probably die. But
he was like,
everyone
wait, there's a
else
new.
will, so.
I think this refers back to something. There's a new change for nuclear eject, though. It does more damage against Titans. Yeah, you're right. It's just going to utterly destroy every person. And
You can see here, there's how high you can get above sort of the intended areas and keep while running around. You can't. There's not really any places up there where you can camp and be way up high and shoot people.
Jeez.
If you keep
What,
wall
2
running,
kills
you can
there?
be really high for a while.
yeah, I mean, I find usually when I go up to roofs in Titanfall that there's usually someone up there with me that has seen me, especially because you're fairly obvious when you're jumping around.
The weapon he's using,
Which
the
makes it
car,
really
I
hard
believe it
to
is.
sort of sit there and
That's my
plug
favorite
players
weapon.
on the
I
ground,
love that.
for
It's
sure.
a submachine gun.
A lot of the roof
Nice
houses
compact.
are designed with
Like-
cover in certain ways where you see the block of cover, so you want to stay there, and then the other people kind of know where you're going to be. If you try to stay off of that, you have to go up to the edge to shoot, and then you're silhouetted against the sky, and you're much easier to pick off.
This
Yeah, I've
chopper is
noticed that
shit.
in a lot of maps. I think where if you're looking for the area that's safest, everybody just knows that you're there. I love taking people out on Outpost 207
Yeah.
because I always know where they're going to be on the roof and the building at the far end.
Yep.
That's a good one. I love the look of this level. I think aesthetically it's
Ooh.
awesome, super cool. I see what you mean with the the glitching in the walls and stuff. It just gives it a really cool effect.
Each hardpoint has sort of a focal point that's glitching out. So the IMC has like a big tank up on a lift they're working on, and you can see it glitching out. And the Angel City one is inside of a convenience store, and the whole desk that you can hide behind as it uses cover is also glitching out. So, and they make cool sounds too. I thought it was a cool way to sort of remind you where you are.
Absolutely. Man, watching these guys This is
So,
a
yeah,
closer
this is-
match than the last one that we have with the last Titan scanning, that's for sure. Although I think that the militia is going to destroy. Tough prediction, I know, right? They're only up by like, 70 points.
So for capture the flag, there's really
Oh, that's really cool.
quick routes that are on those orange and blue wall running panels. Those are super fast. They take you from one flag to the other really quick through like one main building. From the one base to the other base, there's one main building in the middle. So if you go that way, you're going to take a lot of. So this is what I was talking about earlier, kind of taking the outskirts. And you might see a Titan every once in a while out here, but you probably won't find any pilots. So it's a good way to just skirt around. And so when you're capping the flag, you can also take the outskirts.
Yeah, that's smart. It's sort of like what they were talking about in Runoff, where you can get outside, although you're not punished.
It's just a normal
You
pistol.
don't die out there if you spend too long out there. But having that sort of extra way around the map to get through to the other side, which is cool.
We also have one kill pit in here, which is sort of from the training mission. So it's a big red pit. If you go down there, you
Is that a crossbow?
Don't.
just don't fall in
Yeah.
the red pit.
Yeah. No,
Seems obvious, but
it's red, guys. Come on.
Now
That's
it's down
clearly
soldier.
means don't. Yeah. And you just die right away.
yeah.
Can the Titan hit?
Oh, okay, it's a sniper rifle. Interesting.
Oh yeah. You trip off falling. I'm gonna be that person. I'm pretty good about like not falling off the edges and fracture or anything like that. But sometimes
You
you're
could-
just backing up.
You can also see that the AI and other players, whenever they die, they actually sort of
Disintegrate, yes,
disintegrate,
yeah, that's super cool.
instead of just trying to get as many touches that we could to show you that you're in a virtual environment.
Ass chopping's bad.
All right, are they gonna get the dropship out? Save themselves from sheer embarrassment.
That's what sucks is that you have to wait for the entire match to be done with in order to
Not really.
display the next map.
Wow, I'm amazed that they didn't actually manage to shoot it down.
This should have been pre-recorded.
With that many Titans on this?
And just have the
That's a shame.
devs in the background pretending to play.
Terrible. Just kidding. Thank you guys for playing. You were all excellent, except for those of you who lost. So that's it. Thank you for coming and talking about this. I'm really excited about the new maps. They're really fun to play. I think that everybody will enjoy them. And like we said earlier, it's not the only thing coming out with this DLC. There's also the free update that we're doing that includes a lot of cool stuff, renaming your custom loadouts, a lot more options for private matches. Again, you can go on titanfall.com/gameupdate or news, and you can check out the list of everything that's getting changed, fixed, and added to the game alongside the.
That's what they call. This is the only game I've known, or the only developer I know that they will constantly update the game and post it on their website. It's really cool. I think this is the end of it.
Swampland. Tall, massive trees throughout the swamp provide new movement opportunities for agile, resourceful pilots, as well as intermittent cover in Titan-to-Titan combat. Runoff. Combat takes place at multiple elevations between the upper passages, the main deck, and the low-lying drainage canals, sometimes across long sightlines, requiring pilots to develop a strong understanding of this industrial battleground. War games. Characterized by long, transparent wall-running paths and a confined central corridor, this simulation places a premium on each pilot's ability to discover new ways to use these strategic routes against their foes.
Buy Xbox One. Get Titanfall.
So that's it. That's Titanfall live stream. The biggest updates is obviously with the Expedition, which they poorly displayed. There was a poor job on Respawn Entertainment's part. The PR team did a shitty job featuring this DLC pack. Shit, 1 out of 5 if I had to rate it. But the biggest thing was that they, with the updates, you have more customizations over your private matches now. And currently the private matches are in beta. Which is really cool. That you can adjust the times, you can adjust the kill counts, adjust the Titan build times. Really cool stuff. I glanced over to Titanfall.com/game updates. I believe the website's called. I was going to be posting in the description below the link to the website. A lot of cool stuff's happening. There's like a good maybe 3 to 4 pages worth of stuff that they just tweaked and improved and enhanced overall. It's really cool. But yeah, this Expedition live stream was shit. It was to be honest a waste of fucking time. It probably got the highlights a lot better on Polygon and Game Informer or whatever other website, or a Pixelated View here. So yeah, it was a shitty job of them displaying the game itself. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. Keep it locked here for more game updates, live stream info, gameplay footage and whatnot. And yeah, I'll see you next time.
Blackwater out!